Oh, Suhan, I'm sorry. Suhan,
Yeah.
I'm sorry. And Ronaldo, Branch Chief, and Chris Van Vert, Matt Thomas, and myself. And I'll send you the roster after the meeting.
That would be great.
Can you do the same for me to send you your side of the roster?
Sure.
Okay. Is there anybody else from the public that's on the line?
Yeah, hi, this is Erica Gray, Richmond, Virginia.
Okay, Erica. Did you get my email? Because I resend it again later for the
Mute off.
Yes, I did, but if it was something that I was supposed to click on, it doesn't work.
Oh, really? Okay. Well, it will be posted in Adams later on today or tomorrow. Okay. Let's start. Oh, hi, Mr. Mon. How are you doing? We're gonna go through
Mute on.
the schedule with you. We didn't really have a good chance to look at the decal in the reading room, so what we want to do is put that on the agenda for next week to go through in detail in the public meeting side.
Goodbye.
Okay.
And we can just walk through the schedule that you gave us quickly, and then we can end the public call as soon as we're done.
Okay.
Okay,
All right,
Becky, you want to?
Sure. Okay, so, like Tom said, the two calculations that are in the reading room, we had, I think, one staff member kind of look through, but not everybody else got a chance to look at the calculations yet. The other materials that were sent in, the revised response and the supplemental information, we have looked at, I guess, I want to say briefly. Different people had different varying amounts of time to look at it, so we'll talk about some, I guess, some comments that we have or issues that we have now in the closed portion, I think, and then we may have some. It's possible that as looking through it, we may have some additional comments too, as more people are able to look at it more thoroughly. But I think we can give you some good and some meaningful feedback. Okay.
Yeah.
So it looks like your intent is you're going to send the final is next week. What is that? Is that the 28th and the 29th of the calculations?
Yeah, we'll post those in the reading room, the final versions, that's right.
Okay, so Thursday and Friday next week. Okay, so we'll have a chance to talk about them then next Wednesday if we have any questions on the calculations themselves.
We're finalizing them, so the sooner you can get us your comments, the better. Even if we have to re-review them in the call on Wednesday.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Well, so
I don't have another meeting scheduled. Please.
yeah, we don't have another meeting. Well, do we want to just talk about scheduling another one?
Yeah.
I mean,
Do we have a meeting set up?
Next Wednesday, yes, we
next
do.
Wednesday?
We do, but I think they're looking for something sooner because the final submittal is 28 and 29, or 28, yeah, 28 and 29. So if we give them some critical comments on Wednesday, it will put them the schedule aside.
Okay.
so I haven't looked at these myself. Maybe you can help me, Gina. Yeah, about how voluminous are each of these calculations?
They are not large at all, Becky. They're, let's say about 20 pages, I think, one of them is 18 pages, and the other is, one moment, please. My page numbers are getting cut off.
So we're looking at about 40 pages combined between the two?
Yeah, that's what I would say. Skip, do you agree?
Yes, I agree.
Okay.
So
We'll talk, so I don't know if we want to schedule another call
Too late,
sooner.
though. Too late.
Well,
We get 10 days.
below the metric.
We'll talk about that.
Yeah.
We'll have to
That's-
discuss,
that's-
how we would deal with that, Gina, whether or not we would be scheduling.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's, can we go on mute for a minute?
Can we go on mute for a second?
Sure.
Okay, we're back.
Gina, this is Ronaldo Jenkins.
Yes, Ronaldo, hi.
Okay, I think it's sort of unreasonable for the staff to come back in a week's time and provide, I guess, final comments on these calculations. I would ask that you finalize these documents, unless you can tell me why because I'm looking at the bottom line, when you talk about these other three documents, they're all finalized in May timeframe. So I'm just wondering why these first two documents, these are the calculations, which seems to be the most critical one, are finalized in a few days. You know, basically 8 days, 8 to 9 days from now. So unless there's a really good reason why that is, I would ask that we have a chance to look at the calculations next week, and we can also give you comments as we develop them. Then the following week we would have the final comments from us, I guess every first week in May, and then you can subsequently finalize these documents.
Okay, the thing, here's the problem that we have to work with, Ronaldo. I understand why this looks a little different to you. Let me explain.
There's like a month difference between, you know, you're finalizing these first two documents and finalizing the last document. So I'm just wondering what's driving that.
The main driver is the processing time to get a letter into you as opposed to posting something in the reading room. So we would, obviously the calculations need to be finalized and verified before we can finalize the subsequent reports and the RAI responses and COLA markups that are built based on those two calculations. So we have the three documents that are coming in on the 25th need to have the final calcs done in order to be verified. And then for Dominion, we have to send in a letter under oath or affirmation. It takes time for us to process that letter.
Okay.
So that's the
All
reason.
right. Then that will be at risk then. We'll just have to, if there's any comments that are made after you finalize, we'll just have to deal with that when it comes up.
I'd like to be able to find a way for us to not be in that situation so that we
Well,
can...
here's the problem. The problem is that we have two meeting dates set up, you know, and we pretty much have laid out the schedule for the next month of meeting. So we would like to have at least a week to look at this, and then have the staff get back to you at the next meeting, but that not represent the final time that we're talking about the calculations, because we think the calculations are probably the most important part of this. So having the next meeting as kind of the last time that we'll be talking about the calculations makes sense, because then we would have gotten your feedback, because right now you provided us this information this morning, essentially. So the staff really has not looked at this, and we will be taking 1 week to look at these calculations, develop any questions or comments we have, then allow you an opportunity to respond to those comments and questions, and then the following week it would be just making sure we don't have anything else that's still open. Now, that sounds reasonable to me. I guess I'm wondering, is there anything else you can do to make that happen?
To make what happen?
Well, in other words, you're talking about the 20. What's our next meeting date on the
27th.
27th, and then the next meeting after that is what, the 3rd?
May 4th.
May 4th. Okay, so you're talking about 6 and 5 days here.
Yeah. Well, how about what about this? What if we? These calculations are pretty straightforward. So we hope that within a week your staff will have a good grasp of what we've done and be able to develop any comments. And then, yes, certainly we would need to respond to those, address those. But I would propose that we would be able to do that within a day or two. So given that this is the 20th, and we have a meeting scheduled for the 27th, so we get your comments on the 27th, can Tom schedule, or you guys schedule a meeting in 10 days from today so that we can give you feedback on the comments that you've given us? Which would
10 days, the next meeting after Wednesday. I think the earliest we can have is probably Monday, the following that, which is the 2nd.
Yeah, that would be good. That would be good. And then, and so you give us comments on the 27th. We respond. The way I understand it, 10 days is a recommendation. It's not a requirement. So.
Recommendation for whom?
I don't know.
It's an office metric, so it is.
Yeah, I don't have any problems with varying from the metric, but I just need to understand why we're doing it.
Well, because from what I understand, this has become critical path. So if we can give, I'm not asking you to shorten your review time. What I'm asking is, can we shorten the time you give us to respond to your comments?
Okay.
So if you could have until the 27th, if that's what you need, that we would work with that, and then I would have to confirm this, but what our goal would be to have responses to your comments or discussion on them on the 27th. I mean, normally what we've been trying to do in these seismic meetings is, and I know Mike isn't there, but Manus is with you, right?
Yes.
So Manus knows. What we've been trying to do, and I think Ronaldo, you've been involved, is you guys give us information. You give us your questions before the call, so that we can answer and discuss any questions we may have in the public call.
Gina, let us go on mute and talk about it.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, Gina, we're back.
Okay,
So here's the plan.
okay,
COB Monday, April 25th.
yes,
I'll ask Mike Udy, because I won't be here next week, I'll ask Mike Udy to send you all our comments on the calc in the reading room.
oh, okay.
So by...
Wait, what are you gonna do? Send comments on just the calcs?
On the 2 calc in the reading room,
Okay,
okay?
And we'll also, if there are any additional calcs,
Yeah.
because we only got the quick look at,
Right.
If
Well, I
there's
think
additional
I think a priority right now to support your to make sure
Yeah.
you can meet that April 28, 29 as close as possible. So you guys will be ready to talk to us and address and answer the questions that you might have on April 27 public call.
yes, that's what we would do.
Okay, and then I will also, as a contingency, set up a May 2nd. That's a Monday public meeting,
Okay,
and just in case we need it.
okay,
Okay, and then the May 4th scheduled meeting is still on, obviously, so that doesn't
Right.
change. So if we don't need the May 2nd, then we can just get on and off pretty quickly.
and Tom, when will we get your comments on the other documents that are not the calculation?
We'll talk about that later on that one. We may have some on Monday, but we're not going to talk about that in the public call anyway.
well, right, we're gonna, yeah, we'll have some feedback today.
There'll be some feedback today, but I don't think you should expect anything until we have cleared the deck with these 2 calcs. That should be the priority.
Yes, right, I agree. Okay,
Okay?
okay, good.
Now, the question I have is, I'm looking at Menage, because there are 4 other cows that are seismic cows, right? That are due on the 29th. Are those cows pretty clean that you think they can just revise it without any discussion?
Oh, these for the
bottom
seismic audit too?
Those, you're asking me.
No, that's what I'm asking. Are those pretty clean enough that we don't need to talk and then they can just...
Yeah.
Okay, that's what Menage says, so I assume that's what you're thinking too, Gina, right?
Yes.
So these 4 are not for discussion now.
No, we
shouldn't
looked at
need
those
to.
and,
Okay, no, that's fine.
And as a result, this would be revised, so.
Okay, that's fine.
Good.
Now, I think May will be very interesting because everything happens in May when I look at this schedule.
There's a lot going on in May.
Right, so here's my question, the dumbest guy in the room right now, is, when June 30th comes, are we expecting, one, a complete package of the CAL and the COL revisions and including RI responses? It's just a complete package, standalone package, so to speak.
On June 30th, all you're going to get is a complete COLA submission. You aren't getting any calcs, technical reports, or REI responses. All of those other documents are being submitted prior to June 30th.
Okay. Okay. So your expectation is the application, the changes in on the submittal on June 30th
Yeah.
will be as close to identical to what has been submitted or what we have seen before or during May.
That's right.
Okay. Right? Hope so. Yeah. Well.
No, there's really no hope here. That's the expectation that it will be the same.
Okay.
If it's not, we got a problem.
Okay.
Yeah, that's our plan. We're confirming that, Ronaldo. Yes. It's the same.
So in May, all the calculation, technical report will be submitted to us as final, based on the interactions.
Hey,
Yeah.
Gina, this is Ronaldo. Just a question. Does it make sense to develop a master document that identifies all the changes between the FSAR revision 8 and 9?
There is a revision summary in each part of the COLA, Ronaldo, in the front of the FSAR and of the EP and whatever, all 10 parts, although there aren't really 10 parts, 8 parts, that summarizes all the changes for that revision.
Can we get that in advance so that we can verify that internally and make sure that everything is going to be in the June submittal.
We
Is that
can
May
give,
19th? Is that what happened in May 19th?
Markup, I think.
we can give it to you on May 19th.
Okay, that would be great. That way we can internally check to make sure that I'm talking about the confirmatory items, that previously we understand are going to be changed in the FSAR.
Yeah, okay, I understand.
Is there anything else on the schedule? Okay, well, in that case, we're done with this portion of the call.
Okay.
Anything from you guys? Dominion?
No, we don't, we just, basically what we've done is we have provided the information for the fuel audit that we understood you expected, and so, we're hoping that you're our expectation is that you will be satisfied with it and we'll be able to move forward, but certainly we need to hear back from you.
Okay. Okay, in that case, we're going to adjourn the meeting, and then I open the meeting for the public.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
Ms. Gray, Mr. Martin, do you guys have any questions for the NRC?
Yeah, hi, this is Erica Gray. Yeah, well, first of all, I'd like to know, when we're saying reading room, what is it that I can find in the reading room? And using the word reading room is pretty vague.
The reading room is a tool that a lot of applicants use. Basically, is electronic media that they load document in there and allow the NRC to go visit instead of. Sometimes we call it an audit too, because we do go and visit these documents.
So this is not the same as Adams?
No, it is not. It's not. Adams is the NRC tool. It's a documentation system that we use. The reading room is not controlled by NRC.
Okay, so that's not open to the public then, the reading room?
But I haven't get permission yet. I have to ask. In fact, thank you for reminding me. I have to send an email to Dominion to request permission to access the reading room.
She's asking.
Exactly.
You can request Dominion, but because like I said, the NRC does not control the reading room.
Okay, so where does the public stand on the reading room then?
That's up to Dominion to make a decision who can access and what document they can look at.
Okay, so I'm asking if I can look in the reading room then.
Gina, can you answer that?
Joe.
Tom, this is Joe Hagner. I'm the licensing manager. We envision the reading room in our minds as just an extension of an NRC audit, rather than the NRC getting in their car or plane and driving down to Richmond or Wilmington to audit or inspect documents. We make them available in a reading room to avoid that logistical challenge, but it's treated just like audit material, not information that's submitted on the docket.
So in other words, that's not open to the public view?
That's correct. In the same way that when the NRC conducts an audit, that's not a public interaction.
Okay. And this meeting that y'all are talking about having on Monday, the 25th, is that a public meeting?
Yes, it will be. And I'll be posting it probably tomorrow.
Is that enough time that meets the FOIA expectations?
Yes, it will be. I think we have a 10-day metric.
Monday is the 2nd. May 2nd.
Oh, I'm sorry. The 25th is not a meeting. I'm sorry, I got confused. May 2nd is the new meeting that I'll be posting. Monday, Monday, I'm sorry, go ahead.
Well, y'all talked about a lot of different days, so that's why I'm confused, because I heard the 25th mentioned Monday prior to what's on the docket right now is the 27th.
April 27th is a posted public meeting, so it is available to you. And the next public meeting that we have after is May 4th. What we're talking about is on May 2nd, I will be posting another public meeting that you have access to also. the April 25th date that you heard is a date that we promised Dominion to provide them comments on the document that we will be talking on May 2nd. Oh, I mean April 27th, I'm sorry.
Okay, so the 25th is not open for the public, is what I'm
There's no
asking.
meeting. There's no meeting at all on the 25th.
Transmitting.
Email.
Yeah, it's an email transmittal of our comments to Dominion.
Okay. So the next public meeting is on the 27th.
The next following 27th, and then the follow will be May 2nd. Yes.
Okay, and is this Tom that's speaking?
Yes, it is.
Okay, Tom, you know what would make my life a lot easier is since I attend these meetings is pretty much all the time, is can't you just send me that meeting information, conference, and code instead of me always having to ask for it?
Okay, I'll put you on my do list, and I'll send you the next several meetings anyway. I'll send you a reminder the day before, the 2 days before.
Okay, that sounds good. And any information that's open to the public for viewing would be good too.
And the reason why I said the day before is sometimes we don't have any handout or any kind of material to talk about until sometimes the morning of the meeting.
Yeah, I noticed.
So,
Thank you.
okay, any other questions?
I don't have any more questions.
All right, thanks. Okay, is there any other questions? If not, we're going to adjourn this meeting. Thanks.
Thank you. Goodbye.